This right here is my 2021 Yamaha Rmax XTR 1000 4-seater. So we got $150 worth of Kilmat Sound deadening material. Here's what it looks like. Love the machine overall, but she is noisy inside. So today we're gonna try to quiet it down even more. I already installed the Weller Racing 23-gram weights in it. It did make it a little quieter, I feel. And I'm gonna go ahead, pull the consoles off, insulate all that, especially around the engine side. There is some insulation under there, but more the better it's gonna be. Gonna go ahead, insulate what I can in here. Hopefully it helps. Let's go ahead and do a before video right now. And I'll also compare it to this Polaris RZR. This is a customer's I gotta work on, but you'll see the difference. It's not just me thinking this side-by-side's loud. Some people say, well, all side-by-sides are loud, especially when you got a front windshield, a roof, and a rear window. Well, you know, that does hurt things because if I do have the window down, it's not as bad, but it's still loud. So if we just come in here, go ahead and get the sound level, compare the two machines. So I'm gonna stop talking and we'll see what it is at idle. 75, 76, and that's a comfortable level. I mean, it's not loud at all. You can talk to your passenger in here. Everything's all good. Let's go check out the Polaris. So this is a 2022, I believe, Polaris RZR Trail S with the 1000 engine. So very similar engines. Oh. So 73, 74, somewhere around there at idle. So it's a hair quieter at idle. Not a huge difference though. I think the difference is gonna be when you're driving. So let's go ahead and try them out. Since we're already in here, let's take the RZR. I'm gonna do 30 miles an hour and see what it is, and 40 miles an hour and see what it is. About 92, 93 decibels at 30 miles an hour. A little louder than I was thinking it was gonna be. My Polaris RZR Turbo was quieter than this. I still think this is quieter than the RMAX, so now we'll turn this thing around and do 40 miles an hour. About 96, 97 at 40 miles per hour. Now I'll jump back in the RMAX. Very similar at idle. Alright. Tell it's louder, just getting up to speed. There's 30. So 30, we're looking at 97. About 97 decibels. Might be just the tone. They're fairly similar. This has just got like a more screechy tone to it or something. I don't know. So between 100, 101 decibels at 40 miles an hour. So it is louder than the Polaris. But let's go do some insulating and hopefully we can cut that noise down even more. Now this was louder before I did the weights at those speeds, but I'm hoping we can make it a little better. I guess I just got spoiled when I bought that Polaris turbo, because the thing got so much power that when you're doing 40 miles an hour, you're not even running that many RPM. So that's probably why I got spoiled with that. Anyways, let's get this in the garage and we'll get to insulating. All right, made it in here. Time to get to work. Now this stuff right here, this has got some weight to it. We got 2 boxes in here of this Kilmat stuff. They are both, there's 34 sheets in there, and they're 36 square feet per box. 75 bucks a box. If you guys are interested, we'll see how it works, but if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link in the description. You can go check it out. But for now, I gotta get to ripping this thing down. All right, first things first, gotta get rid of these seats. Remember how to do that. It pops right out. Need a 12 millimeter to take these 4 bolts out here. And come in here, pull this right out. And do the same thing to this side. Bottom seat. Come in the back here and remove this panel. These are very easy, just twist knobs. This should be able to pop off. You can see it has some insulation in there, but I'm gonna actually go right over the top of it. The center console is next. Let's see, that. There she goes. I guess we should take this off first, and then that'll come off a lot easier. So we got a little insulation. We got some insulation back here. Nothing on the sides here, so I'm going to insulate all that as well. But it looks like it needs to be cleaned first. So the first thing we want to do is cover everything around the engine. That's going to make the most impact on this. But we do have 72 square feet, so we should be able to do quite a lot here. But I'm going to do what I can around this area, and then we'll focus on some other spots if we have more. I'm going to actually remove these floorboards and insulate that as well. Just had this apart a few days ago when I redid the clutch weights, but that's okay. There we go. I'll go ahead and remove the rear seat. Alright. That up there. Tailgate down. Seat. Seat belt. I doubt there's any insulation underneath this, so I think this will make quite a big difference. I'm hoping, after all this work anyways. There's that one. That side's not too bad. Now I didn't know how far I was going with this. Just kind of winging it. As you can see, there's a lot that can be insulated. There's nothing up here. I'm sure the sound travels, especially if we insulate back here, it's going to travel right up front and echo through all the holes up here. So we might as well insulate that too. Take this windshield off. Right. Who needs floors, right? Ah, yeah. I think I'm going to take this opportunity where everything's already apart and you can see the mud just collecting everywhere. I think I'm going to go pull her out of the garage right now and give her a good pressure wash and clean everything off. This probably isn't gonna be too comfortable. Oh. At all. Feel a little short. Definitely some mud accumulation all over the place. All right, now that I got everything cleaned up in here pretty decent, I can start insulating. So we'll grab our Kilmat. It is right there. Very flexible. You got lines all through it, so you know you're cutting in a straight line. Yeah, we'll see. This is the first time I've used this stuff. I've used, on my other Can-Am, I did go ahead and insulate it, but I used some cheap stuff. More like what's on there from the factory. You know, something like this with a thick cushion. Obviously this stuff is, I don't even know if this had adhesive. It's kind of underneath the metal bracket on this one, but on the rear passenger side, I think it was, on the floorboard, there's supposed to be some insulation that fell off there. So obviously the factory stuff isn't that great. And I heard of some other people losing their factory stuff on that side as well. So hopefully, see, this one's hanging in there on this side, but you can tell it's starting to go. Oh, so do I keep that there? Do I add more? There we go. A lot thicker, however, the other stuff's a lot more dense, so I hope that works better. I did pressure wash this, but obviously it's still got some dirt on there. Right, it's already a little rough, but I'm just gonna hit it with a little sandpaper, roughen it up a little bit. Just using a razor blade to cut this. You can cut it with scissors or whatever you want. Pretty good there. This is a very dense stuff. I'm feeling that this will stick a lot better than the foam type, like the factory stuff that I took off. I used that in my Can-Am, and that held on pretty good, the cheap stuff. I can only imagine this will do better. But yeah, I got a lot of work ahead of me, so I'm gonna get to this and you guys can see the end result. All right, that took way too long. What time is it? That took over 2 hours just to apply this stuff. So let me show you what I did so far. The whole rear bed space that goes in the back, completely covered out with the Kilmat. This is the front dash with the glove box. Made sure I did that because I figured it might be echoing. That's the rear floor over there, center console right here. I took the factory out and put the Kilmat sound deadening underneath the whole thing, and then I put this back in. This is the front floor pan. Still going to do a few little pieces here and there, but I want to make sure I get all the big stuff done because I only got 3 sheets left after all this. 150 bucks worth of stuff, and we're getting down there for sure. So I'm going to do what I can. I didn't do the bottoms of the floors. Don't have enough. So yeah, that's the rear panel. In here, there's like an air chamber. It's not where the air filter goes, but all the air travels through this big chamber. And these things are noisy sometimes, so I did cover this thing. Put some in here on the dash and back of here, I did. And then I just threw a sheet over the CVT duct because obviously that thing is noisy. Like I said, we got 3 sheets left, so getting pretty low. I'm gonna just finish up, do what I can, piece everything together, and then throw it back together. Oh, I put one piece here because there was some holes here. And obviously this is where the air box is. This is where, and then your CVT ducts route up into here. So this is gonna make a lot of noise up here. So I'd like to do some more, but 3 mats, like I said, this stuff's hard to do. This I can just pop off anytime if I buy some more. So gonna throw it all back together and give her a whirl. All right, we get the RMAX back together. All the Kilmat is installed. You can see under here, the whole bed's done. Guess we won't know until we try it out. All right, fire it up. Make sure we'll pull out our decibel meter. What are we running at idle? I think that's pretty similar to what we were seeing before. Obviously with me talking it spikes, but it's like set between 74 or 76. The real test is at 30 miles an hour and 40 miles an hour. Let's try her out. Hold everything in the same spot. Slowly get up there. Between 94 and 96 decibels at 30 miles an hour. The brakes are squeaky on this thing. They've been squeaky since I bought it. The pads are good. Cleaned them all out and everything, but they're squeaky. And I've heard a couple people complain about that. I don't know, apparently it's because it's got ceramic brake pads. I don't know. We're gonna run the 40 miles an hour and find out how she does. I'm hoping it stays below 100 decibels at 40. We'll see. Like it was around 98, 99. That's better than it was for sure. Obviously, if we hammer on it, I'm sure she'll spike right up. But I'm not talking, a steady cruise at 40 is like 97, 98. That's pretty good. That's a lot better than it was. So there it is, definitely noticeable difference in the sound. Now the meter might not show a lot, but when we were cruising 40 before, it was over 100 for sure. Definitely a lot of work. Probably got 4 hours into tearing this all apart, insulating and reinstalling everything. So it's definitely not a small job. Now maybe I could have got away with just insulating the back part. I don't know. Actually, let's check something real quick. Now I actually did the installation yesterday, and as soon as I got it done, we hit the trails. We went to New Hampshire. We did like, I think it was 100 miles. I reset the trip here. So I just hit 100. So just shy of 100 miles in New Hampshire. And I'll tell you what, like I said, the meter might not be a huge difference, but when you're in here actually driving this thing, it made a big difference. I can talk better. My ears aren't ringing. The first time I took this for a ride, and we were cruising on the main, the dirt road here for like, it probably took 45 minutes to get out to where we were going in Newport. My ears were ringing at that point, and I was really surprised because I've drove these things, I drove all kinds of stuff, four-wheelers with cut-off exhaust, big gun series exhaust on my Sportsman 850, and nothing was quite as loud as this. I think it's just the pitch of it. I don't know. But anyways, we took it, we did that many miles. We were gone for at least 10, 12 hours maybe yesterday riding, and it was very comfortable in here, very comfortable. Let's see if I can pinpoint where most of the noise is coming from now. At a RPM increase, I try to keep it steady at like 5,000 RPMs. I'll stop talking so this will read properly. So that right there shows that the dash up here is running pretty high, almost hit 100 decibels there right by the dash. Back here is not bad, the floor is not bad. Actually, back in the passenger seat up here is not too bad. The cylinder head is right below this, so this is a little loud down here. I do have it insulated, probably could run a couple more pieces and insulate that better. Reason why it's probably noisy right here is because your air box is right underneath this hood, along with the CVT ducting. Everything empties out in there. That puts a lot of noise out, so that's probably what's causing the noise by the dash. I could probably insulate a little better in the back maybe, or around the air box, or around the firewall up front. I call it firewall, like a vehicle. But anyways, I think I'm pretty happy with it now. I'm probably gonna mess around with some more stuff, but that'll be it for the videos on making this thing quieter. It's quite a bit of effort to do all that stuff, but I think it was worth it. And with the Weller Racing clutch weights, the heavy weights, I did notice a pretty good increase in fuel mileage. I was getting 15.5 before, about the same type of trails. Now I'm getting 18.5. It said 20 right there because I was running the roads, but when we're on the trails, 18.5. So it definitely increased the fuel mileage as well. So that's a wrap. I'll see you guys on the next one.